Craft, get ready for the one and only Santos Bonacci. And I want to tell you, it's always an honor when you come through. And I'm eager to hear what you say. And the beginning statement that I made was towards and for you because you've been out here doing it, holding the torch, and then creating other candles, lighting it up. So, at this I yield, and the floor is yours. AD,
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, indeed.
Thanks, brother. I probably should say cousin killer, right?
That's
Remember?
right. That's right.
You're my cousin.
Yeah, no doubt.
And my brother, but you're my cousin. Cousin Killer.
That's right. Killer Bonacci. For real. That's real.
So do you want to tell people why I call you Cousin Killer?
Yeah. I'll give you, you tell them.
You tell them.
We in the synchronicity. I think we are spiritually bonded, and we see eye to eye in a lot of things, and we did music together at the same time. But I think we're brothers in the brotherhood, in the light, as much as in the physical. Because I think everything that you speak on is like, it's family. And your son is a huge fan. And also we did a track together also.
Right. So on the last show we did, I said, well, we've already done 4 shows together. You've collaborated with my son on what I believe is the best rap song ever. And so I thought, well, we're family here, right? Now, you've worked with my son, you've worked with me. I might as well call you cousin.
That's right. That's real. Man, I'm honored.
So, and brother, but yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing really, really well. You're looking good. Let me just have a close look because I'm on my phone. My computer's in the work. You're a sexy man.
No doubt, man. Good looking. Word. Destroyer of Santos Bonacci being a living legend. Thank you. Yeah, of course. They already shouting you out, man. They loving you in the chat. They say Santos Bonacci is a living legend. This is going to be crazy. Man, I'm honored that you chose this platform to come on and drop what I'm anticipating, because I don't know what you're gonna say today. But AD told me, just get ready. And every time you drop something, it's always magical, real at the same time, and it's something that make you think. It's not fast food, it's home cooked.
Yeah. Well, okay, so what I'm going to be ultimately sharing with you before I make the announcement,
okay,
is I'm going to give 5 gifts to the world. So I want to point that out first before, just so we don't forget and go off focus. Let me see if I can turn this camera around. So I want to show you what I first want to achieve here. Okay, so I want to talk about nitric oxide and how to breathe. I want to teach people how to breathe. This is very important. I want to teach people that health starts in the gut and in the spine, and how to look after the spine. And I'm going to talk about coffee enemas. I'm going to talk about how to breathe, and I'm going to liken it to the motor and carburetor and filter of a motor. But the other stuff I have on the board, that's part of the 5th gift I'm going to give to humanity before I quote unquote retire. And this will make people instantly, you will be 7 things for free, you'll be a musician, a guitarist, a singer, a percussionist, a lyricist like the great Killer Priest, a dancer and a harmonist, or someone who knows about harmony. Okay, you're going to be these 7 things, hopefully by the end of this show. But first of all, the announcement is simple. I've already made it. I made it back in August. Have you? Did you get all that? Yes. On the whiteboard?
Yes.
Oh, is that UAD?
Yes, I'm right here.
How you going, brother?
Good. How you doing?
Really, really, really good.
Nice.
But every day, itching and tortured. Every day. Now, every day, itching and torture.
That's all.
Okay.
But I'm super healthy, and at the same time, I'm blissful. But I'm going to talk about that. And that's the reason why I'm announcing my retirement today from
really?
From 50 years of public service. 50 years, both in syncretism and in music. Okay? So essentially what I will be doing is I will only be doing things in the private. I'm going to withdraw myself from the public, social media and that world. Okay, so doing shows and interviews. I'm not doing that anymore. So what I'm going to be doing is in the private every week on my Patreon, and AD will have the link to my Patreon. Please join. Every week on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I do 2 hours presentation on syncretism. And the series is called The Book of Syncretism. Okay? So it's not like I'm throwing in the towel and hanging up my gloves. I'm still... What do most boxers do when they hang up their gloves?
They
coach.
I'm thinking
they coach.
Coach, right?
Yeah. So I'm still going to be coaching and teaching syncretism, but in the private, because coaches don't coach in the public, because otherwise everyone gets to know the secret. You know, Mike Tyson's not going to be trained, knowing well how he's going to train when he's going to be challenging, Evander Holyfield. I've got to think of someone who beat him. So it's not like I'm doing that. I'm just going to. I love my solitude. I love my the fact that this is the first time in my life where I live alone, and I don't have neighbours, and which brings me to my other reason why I'm doing this. There's many reasons. Not just the 50 years of public service that I've done since I was Jehovah's Witness for 3 decades, knocking on people's doors. Before I woke up before I left them in 2005, and then woke up in 2007, and then I was already doing music. I was part of 4 duos since the 80s. 4 duos, a band, and a solo career. I had 4 duos, a band, 5-piece band, playing, I guess you could call it Gypsy Kings sort of music, gypsy music. It's flamenco, Latin jazz. It's a fusion, okay?
Whoa, man. Is there any way we can go ahead?
Yeah, look, so I've traveled the world with music with my band. I've traveled the world with Syncretism. I've served the public. I've been very public, but I haven't been very social. I'm not a social person. So the other reason is I believe that itching is due to all the time I've been spending for the last 24 years, I've had my face in a computer screen for about an average of 12 hours a day. And even though there's just $2 glasses for seeing small things, and with all the books that I read, the thousands of books that I read since I started my mission in 1982 to know all the truth. So both in a spiritual way, whilst I've been a professional musician since 1986, even earlier, but with a duo in 1986, I was still knocking on people's doors. So I was doing 2 things all my life: spiritually teaching people spiritual things about God and performing publicly with my music. So I'm going to be doing that in the private now, and I've been working for many decades on a new genre. So I'm going to be announcing here that I'm going to be creating 2 new genres of music. And they will be called flamenco rock and lead flamenco, because I'm going to start with tributing Led Zeppelin and merging the flamenco guitar, which Jimmy Page started playing the Spanish guitar when he was 12. I started playing rock and roll on a Spanish guitar when I was 9. So, but both he and I love flamenco and rock and roll and the blues. So, in effect, I'm merging 3 of the great genres of music which make the guitar the instrument of choice of humans. Flamenco, blues, and the big one, rock and roll. But rock and roll comes from the blues, and the blues is the sister of flamenco. So I'm going to be continuing with my music, but in the private, and with my syncretism in the private. So So what I'm doing is I'm creating concertos, astrological concertos, and AD has he has these. He's going to put them up. In the editing. All right, but I'm just going to show you here. These are the astrological. This is a time for a screenshot, guys. This is number 1. Wait a minute. Let's get out a bit. This is my first concerto. I'm doing 4 concertos. This is number 1. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, and you'll see that the red is for fire, green is earth, purple is air, blue is water, and then it repeats. So The first song, Four Sticks, is Aries. I can play this one. This one's ready to go. Okay? This is ready to go. The first one is ready to go. The other three are a work in progress. So they all correspond with the signs. You'll work it out if you know the songs and you look at the titles and you'll understand that Four Sticks is absolutely an Aries song. Misty Mountain Hop, Taurus. Whole Lot of Love, Gemini. Out on the Tiles, Cancer. The Rover, Leo. Bring It On Home, Virgo, the house, the home. How Many More Times, Libra. The Lemon Song, Squeeze My Lemon, Scorpio, Sexy Scorpio. Custard Pie, Sagittarius. Rock and Roll, of course, Capricorn. Jimmy Page. Stairway to Heaven, No Brainer, Aquarius. And Babe, I'm going to leave you. That's
Pisces.
Pisces. Now, can you show the second one?
Yep.
Please. Now, as you'll notice, Kashmir is on top as its own concerto. This will be about 30 minutes long. I'm going to include the Phrygian mode of flamenco in the key of A, whilst Kashmir is in D mixolydian. So this is going to be bimodal. This is a masterpiece. I can play this for you too. This is ready to go. Kashmir is ready to go. This has been my favourite song since 1977. Okay, I've been playing it since 1977. So, and I was 14. So, Ramble On, Aries. Now, so below that, you'll see the second concerto in the same order: red, green, purple, blue. Ramble On. Well, that's the Ram, Aries. Good times, bad times, of course. The Taurus, they love their leisure. Dancing Days, Gemini. Misty Mountain. What's that? Moby Dick, Cancer. Heartbreaker, Leo, the heart. Living Loving Woman, Virgo. Night Flight, Libra. Trampled Underfoot, of course, Scorpio. Over the Hills and Faraways, the Travelling Sagittarians. Tangerine, Capricorn. Houses of the Holy, Aquarius. And In the Light, the Visionary Pisceans. Number 3.
Now, are these musical pieces that basically have these attributes astrologically because of their sound and energy?
Everything, as you will see. I can show you. And these songs, I've crafted them so they merge into each other, and the keys, you'll find Ramble On is in the key of A. Now, Good Times, Bad Times, it's also in the key of A. Dancing Days, it's in the key of A. Moby Dick is in the key of D. So it's going to be easy to transition, and I've worked it out so that the keys don't jump all over the place, okay? But all of these, let me just check. The first one is all in standard tuning, okay, all in standard tuning. Kashmir is in Dad-Gad tuning, right? Now, Ramble On is in standard. Good Times, standard. Moby Dick is D string tuned, the E string tuned down to a D. Heartbreaker, Living Loving Maid, Night Flight, Trample Underfoot, Over Hill and Far Away, Tangerine, Houses of the Holy, In the Light. Okay, so the only one that's going to give me a problem is Moby Dick with the E string tuned down, drop down to a D. It's called Drop Down D. Okay? Number 3. Now, this is going to be a real head F. Okay? You know the word. because all of these are in different tunings. The Rain song, I even forget what the tuning that is, but I've got a guitar here that stays tuned in that tuning. No Quarter is standard. Thank You is standard. Traveling Riverside Blues, now that's going to be open G, slide string. Boogie with Stew is standard. Black Country Woman, again, a woman, Virgo. That's standard. Dancing Days, okay, standard. In My Time of Dying, okay, that's going to be slide guitar again, like Traveling Riverside Blues. Both ripped off the Delta Blues, Robert Johnson and Muddy Waters and all of those guys. Okay, and then the last one, When the Levee Breaks, that's also in drop open
Drop
slide,
D.
yeah, slide guitar. So, and Going to California is drop D. So that's going to be a difficult one.
Are these albums you're going to be releasing?
Sorry?
Are these going to be albums?
Mate, these what I'm going to do is, once I release these on my
Patreon?
music channel called Santos Bonacci Music. Once people see how well I put percussion, John Bonzo, because only flamenco does this. I'm going to show you this in a minute. Only with flamenco can you merge flamenco, blues, and rock and roll and pull it off percussively. There's no other. You can't do it any other way. So I've got the let's call it. I've got the handle on this. This is going to take the world by surprise. So what I want to do is attract other musicians who are Led Zeppelin fans to do collaborations with me, and I want to, do this properly. But yes, I will be making albums of these. These will be masterpieces, and they will be tributes to Led Zeppelin. And then I'm going to do the Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath, and Creedence Clearwater Revival. And a lot of the blues artists like Robert Johnson. Okay, so number 4. Okay, so this one's also going to be multiple different tunings, but Sagittarius, Going to California, Traveling, Capricorn, Black Dog, of course, Black Satin, Pisces, Down by the Seaside, Where All the Fish Are. Cancer, the ocean, of course, where the crab swims. It's all in order. Again, it's all astrological. They all correspond to 12 signs. This will be 48 songs plus Kashmir, 49-song tribute to Led Zeppelin. And that's what I'm going to be doing in the private. It's going to be... it'll probably be 6 to 12 months before it comes out polished.
I play Immigrant Song like all the time in the beginning of my DJ set, just when I'm warming up at sound check. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pink. No Pink? Pink Floyd.
So once people... let me see if I can do the Devil's Horn.
Which came from Taurus, right?
Hang on, let me see. There's this effect no, hang on, it's only on my computer. But on my computer, when I do that, it does the
the fire, the filter,
lightsabers.
Oh yeah.
From Star Wars. But anyway, so once people see my first concerto and Kashmir, I'm going to release Kashmir first.
Nice.
Is that
let me play a little bit for you to see.
There you go.
You can,
Let's go. Where Gustavo here? Producer plug. He loves music, man. He knows his stuff. And that's why it's crazy today.
I don't know how this is going to sound, man, but usually it sounds shit, right, when I do this. So please forgive me if it does, but this is the concerto. I'm starting in standard tuning, but I'm going to drop this to Dadgad for Kashmir. But for now, I'll show you the 12-piece concerto real quick. Starts with Misty Mountain Hop. I might do a little bit of flamenco first, like... Hang on, that's not in tune.
You may have to get closer because I think there's a noise gate on Zoom.
What if I turn my speaker off? Because I think it creates a sound loop which interrupts. I hear it every time I play the guitar. And I regret that I ever play the guitar in my shows because of it. How's that sound?
It's cutting out.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
You don't have an electric pickup no. You would need a mixer. Yeah, Zoom is cutting it out.
Yeah.
I may make sure that my end isn't doing any kind of echo cancellation. I've got high fidelity music mode on, stereo mode on.
Man, I wanted to hear it.
I've got you optimized on this end for receiving audio.
You see, that's why I had planned originally to have my computer because I've got a microphone and I was going to pull it off. But on my phone, my computer is in the workshop. The guy said it would take 2 days, and this is the 3rd day. And, yeah, so...
We can do an audio segment another time if you want, when you get your computer back.
Yeah, because I've got a microphone and it will sound nice. But
right.
Okay.
But I've got more important things to share anyway. So with the breathing and everything, because people's health, people are very anxious and depressed these days, and most of it starts in the breathing. Okay, so and then of course we all know that health begins in the gut and the spine. I'm going to show you how to decompress your spine. Because people sit down all day, right? They never hang upside down, right? They never hang upside down on the monkey bar.
Yeah.
Right? Used to do in kindergarten. And what happens is you shorten and your spine starts. Those nerves, they're not looking after your heart, your liver, stomach. And you're taking all these supplements because all your organs are failing, and it's because of your spine.
Yeah.
Okay?
They say your age is defined by your spine, right?
Yeah, man. So that's the 3rd thing I'm going to talk about. And the 4th thing I'm going to talk about is coffee enemas and how important they are, especially for people who get depressed or who have headache. And I use coffee enemas to stop my itching. When the itching gets really severe, bang, I do a coffee enema, keep it in for 20 minutes, and the itching is either gone or subdued. So that's an option, and you've got to know how to do it properly. Raw coffee is better than cooked coffee. That's the proper way to do it. And you've got
Chris has nitro cold brew.
Yeah.
Hey?
He has. Have you heard of nitro cold brew?
No.
Oh, okay. It's an American thing.
Yeah, it's an American thing. I went over there I was looking for it, didn't have
They
it.
didn't have it in Australia.
Cold brew, iced coffee, I guess you could say.
Yes, it's like an iced
Or
coffee, but
pour over or something.
it's brewed a certain way.
It's not cooked. It's set. It's like he said. Is what they sit the coffee in the water all night, and then they shoot it with the nitro,
With the nitrogen.
and then that gives it like the beer foam, but it's not heated. It's never been heated.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm going to start with that word. We're going to start with nitrogen. Nitrogen is the secret. That's your fuel. Nitrogen, or especially nitric oxide, a molecule of free radical, and you can only produce it by breathing in your nose and not in your mouth. Mouth breathers are people who have short breath, cholesterol, and ghost veins. Now, if you want to fill your lungs, your veins with blood, you breathe in with your nose, sniff. And when you expire, always through the mouth. And always say the letter H. Why? Because it cools your body. So the marathon runner is doing this. Because the heart, when your heart is racing, you do 2 nose, 1 expiration. But in meditation and daily breathings, it's just 1-1. Sniff. Now, how is it? Because a lot of people, when they breathe out, they do this. Oh. Okay. Well, there's the F and the H breathing. Now, when something is hot, if you've got a hot tea, you do this. And then you've cooled down the surface and you take a sip. Because the F actually, just try this, and you will feel cool breath. Now with an H, just try it, you will feel heat. Okay, point proven. So the letters are powerful gods. The letter H, if you're exhaling with and creating heat, if heat is coming out of you, that means you are cooling yourself. But if you're running and you're going, you're actually heating up your body and your face goes red. So what you do to create nitric oxide, it's produced in the sinuses, in the nasal cavities. That's where it's produced. Now, your nose, nitric oxide is produced by your nose. Okay, so that's the first thing. What's the most powerful word in the universe?
No.
Good. Now, see, your nose.
Hey, go ahead.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Your nose is a filter. It's a filter, and sorry, forget about that. This is all music, this stuff here. Let's just keep up to here. Okay, so air goes into the filter, into the carburetor, and gas is mixed. Air and hydrocarbons, which we call fuel, in your nose, that's why you have two nostrils. Okay, you have two nostrils.
Mhm.
If you breathe in your mouth, you run the risk of swallowing flies, mosquitoes, heavy metals, all kinds of toxins. Mouth breathers die in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. They don't get to 60. So the motor, this is your mouth, it has an exhaust pipe. Mouth breathers have a lot of flatulence because they've got cholesterol and they've got ghost veins. How to fill your ghost veins back, make them veins again, flowing veins? Ghost veins are dried rivers. Is this. Never breathe in your mouth. Now, when you get advanced, you will start to use your soft palate to breathe in your nose. Now I'm using my soft palate. Circular breathing. Okay, so remember, geez, I'm feeling high.
Yeah.
It's all the oxygen.
That's good.
Woo! No, it's nitric oxide. It's not oxygen, guys.
Yeah.
Don't breathe oxygen. What is the air made of? Can you tell me what the air is made of? What two elements, dominant elements?
Hydrogen and carbon dioxide?
No. What?
Carbon dioxide?
Very little, like 0.2%. No, 78% nitrogen.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's why no is a very important word, because the other 20% is oxygen. There's
Hydrogen, oxygen. Oh, no. Okay.
Nitric oxide.
Only 1/5 of the air is oxygen, my friend. Only 1/5 of the air is oxygen.
Wow.
More than 4/5 is nitrogen, the Lamb of God, the number 7 in the periodic table. Oxygen is 8. Interesting. Okay, so that's the breathing, guys. What you're going to do is you're going to have, when you're breathing through in your nose, the nitric oxide goes to the depths of your lungs, feeding all of your organs. You will get rid of your liver disease, your failing spleen, your shortness of breath, all of those diseases. That's all they are. They're just, you're not feeling easy. Well, it's because you're breathing in your mouth. You're going to swallow flies. That's why when people yawn, what do?
In their mouth.
Because
That's contagious.
Because the witches, they used to say that a demon, you will breathe in a demon if you breathe in with your mouth. Spirits will enter your soul. It's very dangerous to breathe in with you. You only drink and eat from here and speak and sing. You do not breathe in from here. It's an exhaust pipe. Now, most people, their exhaust pipe is their rear end, because they're not breathing here. They're putrefying in their stomach. You can fix all your digestion problems instantly by changing your breath. Change it to the no breath. say no.
Wow.
Just say no.
It almost feels like we
Okay.
should be inhaling smoke that way too, because when we smoke, we're like, if I used to use bongs and like water filtration, just to kind of get some of the toxins at least reduced. Back when weed wasn't so strong, of course. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I kind of felt better with that. I would put like a little drop of peppermint or something into the bong, just to kind of make it have like a refreshing inhale. But it's so strong now, I don't even smoke out of bongs.
What's the best way?
That's what I'm wondering. If
Just roll
it's
up,
better
just
through the
regular.
nose, almost seems like you should just burn the weed and just cook it up and inhale it like I don't know, like Vicks.
Yeah, you dap.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm so glad you brought this up because the bomb is the best way to get it in your nose.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Well, they need some nose bongs. That would be weird.
Right now, yeah, because you're also sniffing when you're doing the bong. Right now, I used to anyway when I had a bong. So since I was 14, I've been rolling. I used to roll drum. My first cigarettes were drum, and I never trusted cigarettes. I never smoked cigarettes.
Oh, I thought that was sticky icky.
Well, because
It is.
that's tobacco, the nicotine.
No, it's not.
This is what's keeping my so-called immune system strong, right? But
It's pure
this
tobacco.
is how I smoke.
I thought that was ganja.
So you have pure tobacco then?
I don't smoke ganja.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was
Yeah,
weed.
we all thought it was
Yeah, we
weird.
thought
I
it was
thought I was
weird.
like,
Like,
damn,
yeah,
got
let's
some
go.
sativa
Just like the
indica.
Cowboys.
Feeling some big indica.
I was
We
about to
getting
roll
right.
up my damn self.
No.
Oh,
Listen,
okay.
the one thing I learned for running track when I was younger was to breathe in through your dick cross country, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. That was the first thing they trained when we was running long distance, in through your nose.
what you
Don't
just said.
breathe through your mouth. That was the first thing they trained us. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. So 100% what you want that.
Yeah, that's what he said. The box.
Yeah.
What was that oil you just showed us?
That was broad spectrum cannabis. That's the only way to take cannabis, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hold up, there's a bomb.
Yeah.
There's a bomb drop right there.
Yeah, I don't smoke cannabis. I smoke tobacco because I'm an intelligent man.
Tobacco.
Yeah, there is brain enhancing effects with tobacco. I've heard of that. But cigarettes, of course, have like chemicals.
Not only that, remember when the big C word came out and everyone was locked down, the government was telling everybody it's a good time to stop smoking
Yeah.
because nicotine was kind of fixing people's C word.
Wow, that's a...
What was it? The nicotine?
So
That's a jewel, yeah.
did you see me sniffing with my nose? Watch that again.
Oh, yeah, my gangster friends can do that.
Well, breathe through your nose.
Yeah, so-
I mean, blow smoke through
The
nose.
smoke comes out their mouth and they just inhale it through their nose.
Oh yeah. It puff up one and it go.
Yeah.
James Dean.
So what you're doing is you're recharging that nitric oxide. Nitrogen is fuel. That's human fuel. That's why God put it in the air. 78%.
78%.
Yeah.
With a 6% drop. 78%. No, I like this percentage.
It's the nitric oxide. You know what's interesting, real quick, is like, all of these pills they take for like Viagra and Cialis and all of them. All they're technically doing is raising your nitric oxide.
Yeah, you're right about that. I heard that. They said
Crazy, right?
nitrogen
You increase that, and then you got more vitality, quote unquote.
on your blood, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or circulation. Blood flow.
What'd you say about that? That's right on point.
Yeah. It fixes. Look, they say health begins in the gut, but I say that health begins in the nose, in the breathing, then the gut, then the spine. It's the three. It's the Holy Trinity.
Nose.
You've got to have these three. So I've just shown you the breathing. The spine, that's easy. That's easy. Just get a monkey bar like in kindergarten and hang upside down for at least 10 minutes.
Oh wow. Just a,
And
a dead hang.
listen to your favourite band, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Listen to The Doors. Listen to
Riders of the Storm.
and you're hanging upside down and you're putting all this blood back into your brain and your hair grows more. You grow more hair, and then you rub your head while you're doing that. You put olive oil in your hair with 8 different essential oils, which are good for your hair. This is what I'm putting in my hair. All these see those essential oils there?
Oh wow, you got the whole thing. You got frankincense?
That's all in here. And in the morning, I get naked in the morning sun, doing my sun gazing. I fill that oil. Then I hang upside down, put all the blood in my head, straighten my spine.
That does it help you dream? How's the dreams if your head is full of
I
blood?
just my head. Okay, and all of those, I put rosemary, eucalyptus, tea tree oil, oregano.
Sweet dreams.
You can look it up. Just look up
Right.
in your search engine what essential oils are good for hair, and then just have castor oil. That was castor oil and olive oil. That was a mix of castor oil, the best of all the oils. Butter.
New down.
Fire.
With a little bit of olive oil. 8 essential oils.
You don't put frankincense in there?
Oh yeah, every day.
I'm big on the frankincense, man.
That's what it is.
That'll just open up your mind, man. I inhaled frankincense. Just mind blowing, incredible.
Toothpaste, coconut oil, a little bit of baking soda, and 7 or 8 essential oils. Always have clove. Always
That's
have
hard.
mint. I've got about, 6 or 7. I forget the ones I got, but just look it up. What essential oils are good for teeth? That's my toothpaste, and it remineralizes your decaying teeth. Okay, so we've done the spine. We've done the spine, the gut. Now for the gut, this one's going to cost you because most of you people listening will have mucoid plaque in your small gut. No matter how many colon cleansers you've done, there are still parasites and mucoid plaque built up from decades, causing your constipation and causing all your gut issues. And there's only one way to get rid of all of that mucoid plaque. And I did it with this product here.
Was that a black box?
I thought I was gonna say apple cider vinegar.
Nah, we can't do that no more.
What is that? Yeah.
That's what I heard.
You got that?
That's not chocolate, is it?
No, you can't see that. You've got to be able to see that.
Zenalese. Zengleens. Zengleens 1.
Zen Cleanse.
Oh, Zen Cleanse.
Okay, Zen Cleanse. Now, listen up closely. I've got videos on my channel, YouTube channel called Syncretism, on this ancient Chinese 5,000-year-old remedy of enzymes. right? It's no use using psyllium husk and all of that stuff, that bentonite clay, to flush your small intestines, because what it does is it just goes through and it leaves all the mucoid plaque still on the intestinal wall. The only thing that can just take that out of your small intestines is enzymes. But these enzymes here in this product, there are 3,000 herbs that have been fermented for 3 years. And you drink this for 1 day, you fast for 1 day, and you take this, and the next day what you see in the toilet will absolutely blow your mind.
Wow.
Me, a 5'6", 55-kilo man, I had to do 12 of these, and then, it saved my gut, and I've never had a problem since. No burping, no farting.
So you definitely want to be at home for taking that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah.
Don't take that and go to work.
Yeah, stay on
do
for
it,
that
do it,
one.
and always do it on the new moon. Now, this is the thing. This one's going to cost you. That box costs $249. And you can get it at my website. AD is going to put all my links at the bottom, right?
Yeah, I posted your link tree in the description also.
Always. Okay, so join my Patreon, and I'm going to be teaching lead flamenco as well soon to all you guitarists who want to do this thing with me. And maybe I'll have a collaboration. Who knows? But once I put this out, it's gonna rock the world. It's gonna do. There's only ever been once in history where a genre's been coined, and that's rock and roll, and that was coined in 1954, I think, by a Detroit DJ. If I'm not wrong.
Who's going in? 1954.
Yeah. Check it out. There was a guy, a DJ in Detroit, who coined the term rock and roll in 1954, right? He's the only person who's ever created a genre, who's ever been able to actually name a genre. And
Black Sea.
can you check that?
Pull it up for me.
Yeah. I'm going on my trusty AI right now.
Okay. Anyway, so I've done the four things, right? So we know how to breathe now. Remember, when the H is hot. So if you're expiring or exhaling heat, you're cooling your body. So when you're running. And don't wear any runners when you run. Always run bare feet. Don't wear shoes. Shoes are stupid people. That's how you get someone to be stupid. Tell them to wear shoes.
Right.
I don't wear shoes.
Sneakers?
I run on the stone, dirt roads barefoot every day.
That's real. That's real.
As grounding, right?
Man.
Got to be grounded. Earthing, yeah. Not on the hot pavement, but like the dirt ground.
That's heavy.
Now for number 5, guys, I'm really disappointed that I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't been able to have a computer with a mic set up here. But let me turn my camera around. You see my board? Oh, yeah. So I'm going to wipe this off, right? There's a reason why, because I've done that. We did the 4, we did the fuel and the car and the air and everything. All right, so we don't need that. Oh, we don't need the color over here. Goodbye, Leonardo da Vinci. Red shift, blue shift. Oh, I had the word yes there because you can also say yes because no.
Yeah.
Because no nitric oxide exhalation is yes, but always put an H on the end of it. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Peace.
Yeshua.
Yes.
Yeshua. Okay. Oh.
Yes, you are. Peace.
Bang, dang, diddly. That was a good one, right?
Yeah, it was dope. That's
So
fine.
number five is you're going to get to be all of these things today. So for $100, you can buy a $100 guitar. All you need is 2 ingredients. These are the ingredients. Where's my little thing gone? There it is. All you need is one of these. That'll cost you $5. Okay? And a $100 guitar. And you can make a homeless person, all you millionaires out there, all you people who can afford $100. Now, there was a time in history when there were 3 guitars per everyone alive. Did you know that?
Nah.
That's a fact. I don't remember when it was, but there was a time when there were 3. It was calculated that there were 3 guitars on the earth per every living human being. So, how about, down the street, these lonely guys that haven't got anything to keep them happy? You can teach them today. You're going to have the skills to teach a musician, a guitarist. You're going to give them the guitar. You're going to teach them how to sing. You're going to teach them how to be a percussionist, a lyricist, a dancer, and how to sing and play in harmony. Okay? So the problem is I don't have a fixed. Yeah. All right. Now, there's a reason why we have a thing called the G clef. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, because the universe is in the key of G.
Oh, so it's not
that's
God or geometry.
That's why the guitar, that's the guitar fretboard, by the way, on the top. Now, that's why the guitar is a G-based instrument because, and the Freemasons know that, they know that the frequency of the universe is key of G.
Is that 432 hertz?
Yep.
Because at 440, it's supposed to be tuned down like 11 cents, which technically would be closer to G. So that would make sense. 432 hertz is supposed to be lining up with G.
Nonetheless, whether you tune your guitar in standard or slide guitar, which is what I'm going to do now, slide guitar tuning. The guitar is a G-based instrument. That's why it's in the shape of a G.
Wait a minute. Show me that. Ooh, this one.
It's in the shape of the G.
It's the G string.
Now, the piano is a D-based instrument.
You got to tell them that. That's hard.
It's a C-based instrument,
Mm-hmm.
but the guitar has always been either in standard tuning or open. It's always been in G. So what I'm going to do, you see the 5 dots here on the fretboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of these, I put my dot here on the 10th fret. Most guitars have the dot here. But I'm going to teach you a different system, and I believe this is the system that the devil taught Robert Johnson at the Crossroads.
Mm.
He taught him about this naughty F word, you see, because this is where Satan is. So these 5 dots are the 5 planets. This is Venus, Mercury, Mars,
Thanks.
Saturn, Jesus, Jupiter. Okay? The sun is here and the moon is here as well. I've shown that along the bottom here. So we're going to learn about Jesus. This is the Mother Mary, the I am. The C chord. So we're starting with everything starts in G, not C.
Mm.
Right? So that's the dominant. This is called the tonic. So this is the tonic. The tonic is G. And then, so when you sing a song, when you start your 12-bar blues, you play 4 bars here, 2 here, 2 here, 1 here where the devil is, 1 here where Christ is, the C, and then you go back to the G where Jesus is, where God is in heaven. Okay? This is what the taught Robert Johnson. You'll in a minute. So it turns out that 12-bar blues is always G, C, and D. Okay? Now, this is how probably a third of the songs that have ever been written have been written by using the tonic, the dominant, the subdominant, and the dominant in their music. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how that works on the guitar. Okay, I have my in flamenco, this is the guitar strap. Okay.
Wow.
So what you do is you put that here, like this. Okay. So when you're giving these guitars to these homeless people, you don't have to buy them the straps. They can. But if they will become a performer within 1 day. Within that 1 day, they can earn money on the street, homeless people, by what I'm going to teach today. This is the secret of knowing all music. It's a no-brainer. Now, before I start, over here, so what I'm going to show you is what Robert Johnson, this is how he learned when he was a little boy. He didn't care too much for cotton picking down there in Mississippi, Clarksdale, you know. He wasn't interested in all that cotton picking stuff. So he got 6 nails, and this is on the eastern side of his house where the sun would rise, and he put 3 nails up here, 3 nails down here, and he tightly tuned 3 wires, different tunings. And then he put a bottle behind that wire. And then with another bottle on top, he would just pluck away all that. So what you do is you go up to the homeless person and you say, see this cylinder? It's a ring. You put it on your ring finger, not the naughty finger. That's why it's a ring. And you always put it there to the second bone. If you've got long fingers like me, make sure you keep that first, what do you call these?
Ring
The
finger.
three bones.
The three fingers.
Yeah, you can't see.
The index.
You can't see where I'm.
No, we see you.
Is that better?
Yeah,
What I'm trying to show is,
your ring finger.
yeah, you put it on the ring finger, but always to that bone there.
The second one. Yeah.
Okay, and normally it's perpendicular to the fret. So what we've got is we're going to have 12 frets, and this is the crossroads here because it's the middle of the string. So
Santos.
this is in open G. I'm going to sing a song in G. Jesus. Jesus. Same chord. But this is the crossroads. Okay?
Could you
Robert Johnson realized that if the guitar in the church was the main instrument singing that Jesus and God, G, and everything, the guitar's all set up for G, well, they knew that the next most common chord would be Christ, the C. It's nice to sing a song in C, because it goes very well with its cousin G. Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah, the guitar is not getting picked up much, but I know it's a Zoom setting.
Nah.
was it? It was in there?
Yeah, we're hearing a little bit of the guitar.
No flow.
The Zoom knows how to pick up voices and human beings, but like it automatically turns off anything outside because it thinks it's noise.
Oh, but he's breaking down.
Yeah,
But he's breaking down. Do you know the story? He's breaking down something deep.
yeah.
I know he
I
going.
got you. I'm just saying.
The devil meeting. This is hard. That part is crazy.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll stop playing, right? But yeah, that's the secret. That's going to be the secret to pull this off now. Make sure I'm in the center. Am I in the center?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see where I am because it's good. I've got very bad internet today, guys. I'm working with very jagged images.
All good.
And I don't know why the camera's making me go over here to be in the middle. It's not perpendicular. I'm not directly in front of the... Anyway. All right, so we need to see the neck.
Okay.
So what we've got is G, the open. That's Jesus. When we go to C, that's called the subdominant. And then they always go to the D, the devil, because he's called the dominant, because that's a Mars. That dot is Mars. So when you look at the guitar, you've got God, Jesus, and then at the crossroads, always the body of the guitar always is the 12th fret. Not on electric guitars, but on the ancient guitars, which have been around since time immemorial. So this is the body of the guitar, this is the neck, and this is the head. Sorry, this is the body of the guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the neck, and this is the head. So you see, God is up here. Then you go down to Christ, and all the blues guys taught this. And then here's the devil, the dominant, the dreaded chord, because it always carries the flattened seventh. It's called the dominant seventh. In music speak, parlance. So if you're singing a blues song, it's going to be 4 bars in the tonic, 2 bars in the subdominant, then back to the tonic for 2, then you go over to the devil, the dominant, then back to the subdominant Christ, then back to Jesus, the tonic, and then you go back to the devil, the D. And this is how it goes. Pick any blues song. Let's pick a real famous one. Kansas City. So, I'm going to Kansas City. This is G, right? Can you hear that?
No, Zoom is cutting it out because it has a noise cancellation feature.
What about if I sing? I'm going to Kansas City.
It hears one string. When you do one string, it comes through.
All right, so let's just do the one string, okay? But I'm still going to go to the dots. I'm still going to go to the Christ, C, and D, the devil.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go Satan, the flattened seventh. Why? Jesus said, "Get behind me, Satan," because this is the trick that the devil taught Robert Johnson about this dot here.
The 7th? So the 7th is the devil. On music, I mean.
Well, that's Saturn, that's Mars, the devil D,
Yeah.
Christ, the I am, or the Mother Mary, which gets you to heaven, to Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? So this is how the gospel preachers were doing it, you see. And so what they did was they gave in the key of G, so that they gave that's the tonic, right? And then we're going to go to Christ, the subdominant, and then we're going to go to the devil. You always finish with the devil, and you do 12 bars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. Back to the tonic. Going to Kansas City. Well, you can sing here. I'm going to Kansas City, here I come. They got lots of pretty women, the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to get me one. And you always finish on the dominant. All the rock songs, that's all they do.
Yeah.
And if you want to simplify it even more, all you need is Jesus and Christ, the G and the C. Because remember, originally was with a G.
Yeah.
Jupiter Zeus. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you want to keep it simple, you just teach them on the G string.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's a thumb.
and then pretty much half of the songs ever written are written in those two, in the tonic and the subdominant.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
so
you-
you're sort of going like,
Go ahead.
sorry?
I was gonna say every time they have like a fanfare or they introduce the king, they always do those two notes. They go, which is Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So-
crazy.
So with the guitar, can you see all of me? Or
Yeah, I'll put you full screen.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are getting, but anyway, so there's I've put the dots on there, right, guys? I put the dots on there. I put the devil's one here. The F. This is the E. This is the D, the devil. This is the Christ. But if you play with Jesus and Christ all day long, you can play half of the songs that have ever been written. I got a song to sing. It's in the key of G. It's a love song. It's so sweet. It's about a girl that you'd love to meet. Back to my song. This is the second verse. Now, in the meantime, you can teach people to start percussion. So you do you got your knocks here on the soundboard, and you've got, I hope you're getting this.
We're not because of the noise cancellation.
Yeah. So you've got percussion going. You're learning about harmony here. So it's pretty easy to sing. La, 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 la. And all you do to this homeless guy or whoever is just say, follow the dots. Just play on those dots and start entertaining people and learning songs. And you can write songs. How easy is it to write a song? Write about your life. I grew up a little boy on the farm. Got me a horse, rode it all the time. Then I was a teenager, and it was a real good time. With two freaking notes. Anyway,
you basically taught everybody how to play the guitar right there, especially with the follow the dots.
And I wish I had a mic because, brother, here's what the devil told Robert Johnson to do. He gave him a one-string guitar first, and he told him to meet him at the crossroads at midnight because, you see, that way you don't need to shut your eyes because you can't see your instrument. And he said, always play the G string. This is the G spot at the crossroads. Right? I wish I could play the whole chord. And what he did was he said, just sit there in the dark and notice how the tones change. I mean, a homeless guy with a one-string guitar. I mean, how much fun could he have with that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, not only just a homeless guy, but anyone wanting to learn the guitar. That's true.
So the secret is the pentatonic scales, and the Delta blues guys,
Yeah.
they had it right. You see, because the white man, you see, the devil was turned out. Robert Johnson saw a black devil, right? Supposedly, it's all just a myth, really. I mean,
Right.
because he actually, when he disappeared, he went down to Parkdale, Mississippi, because he went up to Memphis or something. Anyway, Son House and Willie Brown. Son House was a legend already, of course, on the Highway 61 on the Mississippi, touring from Chicago all the way up to Chicago. There's St. Louis, Memphis. They were all there in Memphis, I think it was, and Son House famously said to him, he said, "Listen, just fucking stop. Oops. Can you stop playing the guitar? You're just making a racket." They hated him. Every time he got up to play, they booed him, right? So he disappeared and supposedly came back a wonderful guitarist. Well, turns out he was taught by Ike Zickerman, who was a famous black blues artist in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and he taught Robert Johnson everything he knew. That was the devil, Ike Zimmerman. Yeah.
I remember them saying that the devil's note was the diminished fifth, which is basically 6 keys up. So like a diminished fifth would be, and if you go 6 6 6 all the way up the keyboard, it's. And if you listen to Marilyn Manson's "The Beautiful People," it's. You know what I mean? And they're using minor scales, but there's a pattern with the evil music, quote unquote. And it's always been known as a diminished fifth, which I thought was interesting because it was 6 6 6 all the way up the scale. So I always consider that the devil's chord as a diminished fifth, but you're taking it to seventh.
Okay. So what I've got here, I've got the 7. What I've got is replicated here. I've got starting in G for the guitar. What I've got is this. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is how music is. This is the first. This is called the tonic. The second will be a minor. The third will be a minor. This is the subdominant, the Christ. This is the dominant. This is a minor E. That's why minor E always goes beautiful with the key of G, because it's called the relative minor of G. And then F, flattened, this is called the F diminished. Now, that's how I've got it there. I've got tonic, G, the A on the second fret is always a minor second, minor third, subdominant fourth, dominant fifth, minor sixth. There's a reason why I put a question mark there. The minor sixth is always the relative of the tonic. Okay, so the minor sixth, and the last chord is always a diminished 7. So what the pentatonic scale does is it uses the tonic. And then it flattens the third, which makes it a minor now, a minor triad. So their first jump is a minor triad. That's where you've got your first dot. So this is also a problem. This is what makes it sound so bluesy. This thing here. This brightens it up. this creates tension. That's why it's called the dominant, because it creates resistance between the subdominant and the tonic, which are best friends. This guy, he is a resistor to them. So that's why he's like the devil's chord. That's the devil. And this one's Satan's chord, because the flattened seventh, the Inquisition outlawed it for 1,000 years. You know, the Gregorian chanters, they were never, ever allowed to use the flattened seventh.
They only did major scales. Or major chords, right?
Yeah, and that's the major structure. So that's why the piano is all the white keys are the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh octave. You see? And then all the black keys, the naughty ones, they're all sharps. Now, you don't touch them. So when you slide up, you see, when you slide your finger along the keys here, you're getting like a harp. You're getting the key of all notes in the key of C. Yeah. But you're not sliding. Only a string can slide. So only a string is a true teacher. Only a string is a true teacher of how to understand music and the tension that you create where you position your slide bar.
And the seventh is where we get the blues, right? Because blues is all based on sevens.
Yeah, blues is this. So let's show you.
Then jazz is like 9, 13s. Jazz is crazy. If you could play jazz, you could play anything.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Jazz goes outside that scale. Like,
what was that about John Coltrane?
That's crazy. Jazz. Blues is like
crazy.
Go ahead.
You can see me, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So this is in the key of A. Now, this note here, you see it?
Yep.
That is the tonic with the fifth. Right? So when you go to the sixth, you get rock and roll, right?
Yep.
Now when you go
like that, that's crazy, right?
If you go to the seventh, it's going to sound like this. Let's get this in tune. That's better. Okay, so can you hear it?
Yes, it's coming through.
All right, I can't see where. All right, so here's the fifth, the A chord, the tonic is here. This is the fifth, and we go up to the sixth. And then we go to the flattened seventh. That's the devil. And you see, the white man, he said, the black guys there, they know all about the flattened F, and they keep playing it in the churches. So they outlawed them, believe it or not, and they stigmatized blues as the devil's music.
Yep.
But they still had the dots right where, from the beginning of time, the 5 planets always were. The moon is, this is Venus. This is Mercury. This is Mars. This is Saturn. The Sun is here. And then it goes back to Jupiter, G. G. This is Jupiter, and this is Jupiter. Jupiter, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Saturn. The Sun and Saturn are always together, and the Moon and Venus are always together.
Wow.
But they don't put dots where the Moon is, and they don't put dots where the Sun is. But this dot here, this guy, that's definitely Saturn. That's the platinum fifth. And there it is. That's him here. It sounds so sexy.
Yeah.
You know, it.
Right.
Fire.
Whatever.
Now, where would Neptune be in there? Because I know we get the word tune from Neptune. That was the only correlation I knew of.
Okay, well, let me introduce you to Jesus and his 12 disciples. Aries.
Let's go.
Jesus, the Lamb of God. G, Aries. Agnes, Agnes is the Lamb. There it is there. Here is Taurus. Gemini. Cancer, Leo. Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, bring it on home, Aries, the Lamb of God crucified on the cross, the crossroads. You have to make a deal with the devil because he rules. The crossroad.
That's fascinating. I have never seen that correlation before. I did know of the numbers, the 12 notes, 88 keys, 88 constellations, the octaves, but I never saw it like presented like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's why.
Oh,
That's
88 keys.
That's what you have to understand the chromatic scale as Aries,
which is G,
Taurus.
G
Aries, G, Agnes,
Yeah.
G, the Lamb of God, Jesus. Taurus is G sharp.
Gemini, Pollux, and Castor.
That's Gemini, Pollux, and Castor, yeah. A sharp is
Cancer, the Scarab.
Yeah. B is Leo.
The Lion of the tribe of Judah.
Yeah, you see, so this is all Jesus. So let's go back. The Lamb, Taurus is the rock.
The Rock. Dwayne Johnson's literally a Taurus, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, the Rock.
The Rock.
That's crazy.
He's a Taurus, and it's also known as the Rock. It's so
Wow.
perfect. And they're the builders, and he's a bodybuilder. It's so funny. Go on and on. Go ahead.
Is Jesus the twin. Cancer is Jesus the Holy Scarab. You got the Leo.
Lion and tribe of Judah. Killer priest. Virgo, Virgin Mary.
The House of Bread.
House of Bread, Bethlehem.
Jesus gave bread and fish. Bread and fish. Fish. Bread. Virgo and Pisces. Bread and fish to the masses. Okay. So Libra.
Libra, the scales,
Oh,
the judges.
The just one.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting right in the middle of the dominant and the subdominant, in the middle of the dots, crucified.
Yeah.
Libra is in the middle.
Yeah.
Libra in the middle. Libra. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Scorpio.
Scorpio, Judas.
Judas, the devil. Remember?
Halloween.
The devil. We already found the devil. What's Scorpio?
It's Sagittarius.
No, wait a minute. No, wait. So that's Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius.
The bow and arrow.
That's Jesus riding on a horse, white horse.
The nail on the cross.
Yeah, and with an arrow, a bow and an arrow, warring, waging war with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Capricorn.
Capricorn, the goat, the climber, the achiever,
Yep, and
the judge also.
the sacrificial goat.
Yeah.
Jesus, sacrificial goat.
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius, Saturn. Remember, we said this dot shouldn't be here. Yeah, Saturn. That's the F sharp. Back to Jesus.
The man carrying the pitcher of water.
Yeah, Aquarius, the man carrying the pitcher of water. Pisces, the fisher of men.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, the Lamb of God.
Beautiful.
damn.
I love it.
Crazy. Who's going in?
I love it because it's just,
Yo.
it's like you're seeing the structure of God and how it correlates to music. And music is as you called it, Santos, you called it a divine science.
Yeah, guys, look, how many people listening right now have got a guitar in the attic? It's a nylon string. Do not do it with a steel string. Do not use strings. Buy one, go to an antique shop, go to a freaking pawn shop, go to a barter shop. You'll see guitars at the markets. Grab those guitars. Buy a whole bunch of these on Amazon. Don't get glass ones.
They'll break.
Yeah, well, a homeless guy with a dog, trying to make his dog happy with the G string, hitting the G spot. That spot at the crossroads, that is the G spot. It's Jesus. So yeah, for $5 you get 100 of these, whatever, and then all these homeless guys who think that they're never going to be a musician, they're never going to be a guitarist because they've only got one finger. Now, the good thing about this is you don't have to learn chord music theory. You don't have to learn chord shapes. You don't have to learn scales. You don't have to learn the name of notes. You don't have to read. You don't have to read, and you can be blind, and you can just get that slide, and that homeless guy, he can keep his dog happy because they love music.
You probably want to point out that they're going to have to do the drop D from standard tuning in order to use that slider to do a power chord.
No. It's called open G tuning.
Okay.
You drop the D.
Yeah.
But you also then, okay, let me show you what it is.
Yeah. Because there's standard tuning and then there's drop D, which a lot of bands do, like Korn.
Yeah, no. This is not drop D. This is not, no. Okay, what you got is the E string here, this top string here. Yeah. This drops down to a D. Mm-hmm. This B string has to go down to a G. This is the tonic. Okay. Here is the tonic on the fifth string. This is not the tonic. This is the fifth.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
So by dropping this down to a D,
Mm-hmm.
you have a fifth. Now Robert Johnson used this in his bass playing, but it's not the tonic. This is the tonic. This one, which we call A string. Now I've got it tuned down to G. So because this is a Jesus guitar G spot.
Got you.
That's the G spot.
So what do you call that again? Open G tuning?
Slide guitar tuning.
Oh, slide guitar tuning.
Yeah. So and it's always in G.
Oh, okay.
It's always in G. Because the guitar is a G-shaped, G-based instrument. It's not the piano. The piano is all about C. So
piano.
No.
Okay. Wow.
Piano.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
And that's why you see some of these guys like Son House who used to ridicule Robert Johnson. That's why you always see him playing with a crooked slide. You're thinking, wait a minute. Why is it always going?
Yeah, when's that coming through?
Why was it? Whereas it should be like this. It should be bright, major.
Mm-hmm.
But Son House, who pretty much laughed at Robert Johnson, who went on when he came back to Memphis, and this is famous. Robert Johnson's come back and with his guitar in his case, and he said, let me have the stage. I want to show you what I learned. And Son House said to him, get out of here, man. No one wants to hear your shit. Everyone hates you, man. Just give me one chance. And he said, that guy blew my mind. He blew Son House's mind. Son House plays like this. Why? Because he's getting Satan's flattened seventh
in there
with the tonic. He's getting the G and the flattened seventh. And he's also making it a minor because this string now becomes a minor. You see, that's major, right? This is minor.
Yeah.
That's G major.
A minor.
Yeah, because this string is the only third. This is a fifth, a tonic, a fifth, tonic G, third, and a fifth. So there's one place where you can make it minor, which is here. And why not make it a minor seventh?
Yeah, minor is like what makes it scary. Like Danny Elfman does the scary songs and he does it all in minor.
Well, you go to YouTube and punch in Son House live early days, and you'll see him with this on his third finger, and you'll see him not never. He does play it straight when it's got to be done, and that's at the dominant and the subdominant. But when he climbs up to the Jesus spot, he gets the G there.
You love is dead. I got a letter this morning. I say, how you reckon it read? It say, hurry, hurry, 'cause the gal you love is dead. You know,
It's got that slider.
I up my suitcase. Struck out down the road.
Son House.
Oh, when I got there, she's laying on the cooling board. I grabbed up my suitcase. I said, tuck out down the road.
Wow.
Right now you see how
I
he's
love that
punching.
music.
He's punching that guitar with the tips of his fingers and his thumb on the top. Fingers on the bottom, thumb on the top. And that's how you get on.
Yeah.
While you're playing. So
Yeah.
you can teach people to be everything. You can teach them how to dance with this.
Mm.
Just put a slide on their finger.
Mm.
Wow.
The way he's hitting that, crazy.
Sit in the dark and play on that G string.
Mm. Mm.
Wow. That's good stuff.
That was drunk.
Hmm.
I can do it. I'm not drunk.
Yeah. That's great.
But I mean, you can show some guys that, you know, look, just do one string all day long. You can imagine playing that to your dog all day. He'd be like, he'll be happy.
The dogs are mouth breathers. What were you going to show us with the lyricist thing on the wall?
Okay, well, the lyricist is easy because look, now you've taught the guy, you teach the guy that the G string here, that's your tonic. Learn how to just go la 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 ta ta pa pa mama la 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 la. La la la. No, it's just stick with. I'll stick with chest voice instead of head voice. La 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 la, and then teach him about this fret here, which is the subdominant where the dot is, and just go la 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 la. Do that for an hour. La 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 la, and then you base your lyrics around there. Okay, so you're going to tell your life story. I'm a boy. I used to have a home.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
On the street I am, and I'm just singing on one monotone. It's Jesus string. Now I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna visit Christ. Christ. Well, every now and then people put money in my hat because they know I don't got a home. How easy is it to write a song? And all the songs in the world are based on those two chords. Dang diddly, isn't that easy to do? Hey, Missy, traveling there with your pretty dress, can you drop me a dime?
You're freestyling.
Yeah, and you can be rapping. You can be a rapper. I'm rapping on this tune. I don't know how to rap, so okay, killer. Go for it.
You good?
Hey.
Rapping on his tune.
Come on, man. Let's play with Jesus. Let's play with Christ. Come on, the tonic and the dominant.
Okay.
What's your
Playing
voice?
the guitar, huh?
See, my voice is D. So okay, my voice is D. I always speak in this tone. So what's your tone?
My tone? I don't know. What's my tone?
It's G. I just got it.
Tone.
Priest is a baritone. bass.
All right. Okay, so you're already
Baritone.
you're already in tune. So
I don't throw no beat to it. Playing on the good. Right.
I don't rap.
Huh? Just rap.
Uh,
Let me see.
rapping on the street.
Yeah.
Go. You go.
Rap and not sing. Talk about the G string.
Yeah. That's how we beastin'. Shout
Ooh,
out
there
to
we go.
Chino XL. Shout out to Chino, R.I.P. to Chino XL. You know, in the streets, sex sells. We hear the XL, the small, the large. We hear the propel. Shout out to LL, rock the bells.
Two notes to learn, and you can teach
Flowing
it
so well, huh?
Yeah.
a blind guy, and he's in a wheelchair. He's paraplegic, but he can use his upper limbs. And you sit $100 guitar in his lap, tune it up for him, and you can get a tuner. You can get a slide guitar tuner on your phone, on YouTube, and you can tune your guitar with the phone. You can get a tuner on your phone. So most homeless guys that have a phone because they have to, because their counties, some counties make it a law that all homeless people have phones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they need services as well, right?
Hmm.
So
that's interesting. That's the mark on the hand, right? That the Bible speaks of. You have to have a mark in a hand to buy and sell something. It's basically our cell phone, right? Or am I getting too deep?
It is. You're right, but it's many other things as well.
Yeah.
I don't know why this.
Telephone.
Freaking. Where am I? I don't know.
You're right there.
Okay.
I can adjust you from here. But yeah, man, that's cool. You've shown a lot of basics too for a lot of our artists that are still getting started with music. There's many of Priest's audience are also musicians, beat makers, producers, DJs, rappers. Go ahead, Priest.
No, I wanted to get Guam on because Guam and producer Plug, Guam plays the guitar.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he plays the guitar, and some what Santos was hitting out. It reminded me of Guam because he was telling me when I was up there, just do a little something, like that. And he was coming out the head. But that was crazy that you're a musician also, and teaching the homeless. That's incredible.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Amazing.
What's happening here right now? This is incredible right now, man.
Yeah.
You got Santos Bonacci playing. What is that? Just a regular guitar?
Nope.
No, what is that?
Yeah. It's a nylon string classical guitar. Yeah, regular $100 job. This is a $100 job. Cheap ass, Mexican made. Just anything. This is good because it's got a cutaway here, and that's why I use this as my slide guitar. Whereas the other one I use for Cavalier and the concertos. This is just for like when in my time of dying, when the levee breaks, traveling Riverside Blues from Robert Johnson.
Fine.
You guys can get a guitar for $50, and it'll come with a case.
What?
And stuff like that. A beginner guitar.
You know what I wanted to hear?
No.
What about the lyre?
Don't get those steel string guitars. Put nylon string.
Nylon. Beginner guitar and nylon.
Nylon.
There we go.
Nylon.
Okay, they start at $150 or $100. Here's one for $100. Fender.
Mate, they're $20 in the op shops.
Oh wow.
In the pawn shops, $20.
Okay.
Thousands of them everywhere in the world, man. Imagine how many sad, depressed people can be so happy knowing that they can write songs, they can play music, they can, dance. It's easy to dance. Look, all right, I'll show you how to dance, right? So you go like this. You go. Oh. Christ, Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
So every time you play a note, move, and then you do it with the other leg.
Bonacci bounce.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that was hard.
I'm telling you, thousands of those homeless people will instantly learn how to make music and sing with it, and then start dancing, and then bang, making percussion, and they're a one-man band. Robert Johnson was known to be the only guy in the history of Delta music to be known a one-man band. He was he was an orchestra.
Can we play some of Robert? I want to hear some of them.
What's it called?
No, you can't see Robert Johnson because he never let anyone watch him play. He was never even though he was, living in the times where they were recording these great black artists like Kip James, Sleepy John Estes.
We'll buy some popcorn and
that's not him.
Get that. Don't want no white man playing no black music. Get in out.
Yeah, I know that's not Robert Johnson.
Wrong one. You're right.
He can't do that.
He can't
Wow. We found his music, but we can't find any videos. That's what you're talking about.
That's not a picture of him.
I love that. Huh?
That's him playing, yeah. See how good
I love that, man.
he is the best.
Wow.
And Led Zeppelin played him in three of their songs. They ripped him. They covered him 3 times.
Wow.
That's cool.
Nice.
I'm surprised Jimi Hendrix didn't.
Yes, he did. Everyone. The Rolling Stones
covered.
in 1969 with "Love in Vain." That's Robert Johnson only recorded 29 songs, and he died at 27. He was the founder of the 27 Club. He was murdered, and one of his 29 songs is called "Love in Vain," and the Rolling Stones did it in 1969 on "Let It Bleed."
Let it bleed.
Santos, are you ready for super chats?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm going to go backwards here. Johannes says, thank you, Santos. Jamie Uncensored says, I so want to party with this dude. Jamie also says, NG, baby. Yo, I'm Ghost Pump, creeping in the night. Got that power in my veins, feeling out of sight. Silent as a shadow, but I hit like thunder. Weight on my shoulders, but I never go under. Shout out to Jamie Uncensored, $10 right there. He also says, Priest, hit the Ghost Pump.
The Ghost Pump.
He says, loving it, baby. This dude know what year it is.
What's that? Waterfall.
Jamie did a lot of super chats today. He also said, play on that G-string, baby. Ghost Pump. He says, you got the acid trip godfather of notes. Johannes says, I am a follower of Santos. Any advice on starting my own astrology channel? Santos, did you get that?
I think he wants you to answer that.
Battery 100%.
Santos, could you hear that? I don't know if you got me. Hey, Santos, you hear me? Yo.
100%.
Santos, can you hear me?
Oh, you can't.
Hey, Santos, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, let me see.
Santos.
Shimmy, y'all. Shimmy, yeah.
Hey, Santos, can you hear me?
I don't think can you hear us? You can't hear us?
Mic check 1, 2.
Yeah, with Danny. Yeah, he's out in Michigan. Yeah, he talking about sick. He talking about sick.
Disconnected. Ready to
Those punk.
Santos, can you hear me? Yo, make sure you didn't hit the mute button. Mic
Hey
check.
guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear
we
you.
can hear you, but can you hear us?
No.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
No.
You can't hear us?
Can you hear us?
Very, 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 very faintly.
You might have accidentally lowered the volume on your phone. Careful to check your volume on your phone and make sure it's up.
No, it's up. It's full up.
Okay, because we're still pumping out at the same audio levels here. How about now? Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear, but very,
Low?
very, very faintly, man.
Okay, we're almost towards the end here. We're just answering some super chats. Somebody is asking, Johannes wants to know any advice for starting their own astrology channel.
No.
Oh God, not really. I don't know. you need a web designer, don't you? Or depends what you want to do. Do you want to do readings? Then you have to set up a payment system, I guess, and then I don't know. I
There it
had
is.
people. I had people helping me. I don't know how to do things like that. You know?
Yeah. So if you start your own astrology channel, make sure you know what you're doing as far as the tech. Otherwise, get an assistant. Get your own AD, so to speak, which can be an assistant director, audio director, whatever. Okay. Destroyer of Simps says, Santos Bonacci is a living legend. Thank you for all the knowledge and wisdom. Did you hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Toasty, we're going to get to Toasty's super chat later. Because that one's towards Priest. We've got another super chat here from let's see, refreshing. Zephyr says investing in what's important. Jamie Uncensored says Santos can still hear Woodstock. All right, and that concludes the super chats for Santos. All right. Well, thank you so much, Santos. Do you have any other closing words for this presentation?
No, not really. Just so if you want to continue learning syncretism, the name of my Patreon. Well, it's all everything that you need, and remember. Everything to do with syncretism is at my site, universaltruthschool.com. And the Patreon is under the name of Mr. Astrotheology. It's not under Santos Bonacci. So you can join free, and every Tuesday I do a presentation.
Nice. All links are in the description. You've got the links to Santos's Linktree, his YouTube channel, and his Patreon. The Patreon is where you're gonna get a lot of his exclusive stuff. So make sure you check out. He's got I think a free membership, a $5 membership, and the tiers go up from there. But it's really good, and that's kind of a smart move, I would say, also to go exclusive, because the more sacred the knowledge becomes, the more special it should be to find that type of information. I think this is one of the reasons why secret societies exist, is because some of the information becomes so powerful and valuable that it's not meant for everyone in the general public. You know what I mean? It's like feeding pearls of knowledge to the swine. Not to call people swine or anything, but it's like you have to be initiated to know certain things in levels, so to speak. So by having it in a Patreon, I think it creates an exclusivity that is rightfully deserved for such information. Right?
Yeah, indeed, man. You know, I agree. Yo, that was heavy, man. That was so much dope music and learning how to play the guitar, man. That was enlightening. But I like the breathing too. The breathing and the spinal. Did we ever get to the spinal?
Spinal.
The spine. Yeah, that's Mike Tyson said spinal. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Most people's health issue is a very, very, very compressed spine. Arthritis comes from all of that. When you open up those 33 vertebrae by hanging upside down, you correct scoliosis, you don't get pinched nerves, you don't get nerves that are suffering or damaged in any way at all.
Yeah, you know what helps me is push-ups. Doing push-ups as much as you can, it just kind of, you'll stand up straighter. You know what I mean? You'll feel like more upright. If I see people slouching, I always try to like bring them up more. Like, hey, sit up straight. You know what I mean? It just helps everyone out, especially parents, older ones, your uncle, your aunts. If they're starting to slouch a little bit, you can kind of like push their shoulders back a little bit and help them sit upright, because it's so easy to slouch, especially as someone who sits on a computer or a piano bench or a drum throne. It's very easy to slouch. Yeah. It's a discipline to learn. But push-ups really helps, or bench press, whatever.
Yeah.
But hanging by he said.
Could you go to
hanging bar?
Is there any way that you can, Santos? Any way you go to sleep that way? Like if you use the rest, like if you was to try to like put your feet on a elevate your feet, would that do anything to you? Could you do that and still remain healthy? Or?
No, it's best to actually have your head on about a 5-degree up to your feet. So you want your feet going down. So where you sleep, your head should be 5 degrees higher than your.
So going down, right?
Yeah. So now with the breathing. To fall asleep with that breathing, always remember to make noise, sniff. You always want to be sniffing. Sniffing is very, 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 very important, and you always want to be cooling your body down. So, this with your palate, with your soft palate, you push your soft palate down to your hard palate. And you block off the air that goes in between the nose and the mouth, which I'm using right now when I'm speaking. Otherwise, I would sound like this if I was only speaking from my mouth. Sound different. So you're hearing me nasally and from vocally from the mouth. So when you shut the palate, right, when you drop the soft palate, you can go like this, you fall asleep. And keep your mouth open. You can keep your mouth open slightly.
Shoot.
There's a product they have out where they tape their mouth closed when you sleep. Have you heard about that?
Bad idea.
Yeah. It's like a mouth taping type of thing.
It's bad because what you're doing is you put nitric oxide in and then you're blowing it back out through your nose. So you're not getting the benefit of the fuel. You need fuel. This is your fuel. It's got to be filtered, and it's got to be mixed. The nitrogen and the oxygen are mixed. They make a free radical, which is a negative ion, and that is your energy. One day you will be a breatharian when you learn how to do this.
Nice.
So,
All right. Any other last words? We appreciate having you on. We hope, even though you may be retiring, that you come back on the show again. And if you're ever in LA, because we're by LAX, you're welcome to come by with.
Definitely.
I got guitars here. We could do little studio session, whatever.
have you heard AD play?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not really. He's transcending. Now that I get it, it's like it's like the Christ. Like he's dying in that world, but he's moving on. He's like, bye to the internet, but I'm on to the Patreon. So it's like he's elevating.
I'm just following Santos. I've seen every video that Santos
Right?
has done, but some of Santos's best stuff
This
is
is
in some
transcendent.
interviews. Yeah.
Transcended YouTube. For real. And it's like he's moving on. And that's crazy because his teaching is taught in the dark. That's why I like it. I'll be over there. I'll definitely be over there.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I'll finish off with this. Here's the deal I'll do. I'll definitely have my computer by Tuesday. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. I don't think I'm going to be doing my show because I won't have a computer. So I might as well announce that now to all the Patreon members. But the following Tuesday, which will be the 22nd, here's a promise for you. I will put up the mic and I'll play Kashmir. No, first I'll do the slide guitar teaching about Jesus and Christ and God and the devil. And join me, and you will be all of those 7 things that I mentioned before. Yep, those 7 things. Can you see those?
Not from here. It's difficult to read that. You don't have that in photo form like you did the other ones, do you? Oh, there you go. There you go. That's better.
Yeah. So you will be a lyricist, a musician, a guitarist, a percussionist, a singer, a dancer, a harmonist. You'll be all of those things on the 22nd of Tuesday. You're going to learn all the easiest way of being, a talented musician without knowing the names of chords, without knowing scales and anything. Just follow the 5 dots and join me. The more of you that turn up with open G tuned guitars and steel guitar slider there, the better for you. But join me nonetheless. There you go.
All right. That's that. Priest, any last words?
Nah, man. That was I'm just happy to see you again, and you always got a home over here. When you come, I can't wait for the next time you come through. We're gonna do it again, and the science about the breathing on point, science about the spine on point. All of that we needed that. We needed to hear that. Bird, great, Santos Bonacci. And AD knows all your stuff, man.
Yeah, but
if you know it by
I'm
now.
still learning stuff.
You still, yeah.
Like
for
I
real.
learned some stuff today.
Yeah, AD.
That was cool.
There's a lot of good teachers of syncretism out there right now. There's hundreds of them.
All right, with that, man, we're gonna let you go.
All right, man.
It's been a great presentation, and man, come on back, stay in touch, for real,
Bye, guys.
ladies and
Take
gentlemen.
care.
Thank you, Santos.
Santos Bonacci. That was fire.
That was good.